Welcome to Smart Cherry's Thoughts. This is Sai from India.
Hi, Neha.
Hi, Sai.
Thank you, firstly, for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
Oh, no, pleasure is all mine. Looking forward to this chat.
I've gone through a profile. I can see you are into RJ and you are taking interviews. I saw you took interview of one of the Tollywood and Indian actors recently. So I've connected you like that. So thank you. Um, so I thought to tell about you and the work that you're doing to my audience.
Sure. So, I work as a radio presenter and I live in New Zealand. I've been working here in a radio station called Radio Tarana for the last 18 years. And I also have worked in some theater. I've done a short film and done an appearance in a Bollywood film and done a Fiji Indian film. And I do stage shows, a lot of stage shows. We do a lot of emceeing, singing, and things like that. So yeah, that's me.
So I saw you singing in some of the shows, and your voice is too good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. I've not really learned singing. I've just done like very basic learning of music, but it's more of a passion, more of a hobby, more of something that I enjoy doing, and more of something which I love to do to express myself and to connect with people. So I enjoy just singing and having people having fun with me. So yeah, that's what I enjoy doing.
So you are from?
I am originally from Delhi, from India,
Okay. Okay.
and I moved to New Zealand in 2002, so almost 21 years ago.
Okay. So, so what made you to come into this?
Um, into the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually it happened very automatically because as a kid I remember that I used to love music. My dad would play the guitar, and every time we would have no electricity at home, we would just sit with his guitar. He would play the guitar, and we would both just sing songs and things like that. I remember my dad loved traveling, so we did a lot of road trips. And on road trips, the only thing I enjoyed the most was the music in the car. So, we would just put on lots and lots of music, just sing along a lot of songs. And I would love listening to radio. I would act like radio presenters. And when I came to New Zealand, I joined my graduation. I wanted to do my graduation in performing arts. So I joined a course in contemporary dancing and choreography. And while I was doing that, one day on the radio station, they were doing a little competition that you call and you act like a radio presenter. And I did that and I won the competition and they called me to collect my prize. And when I went to collect my prize, which was like a CD or something, like an audio CD, they told me, they're like, why don't you do a voice test here as well? Because we're looking for part timers. And then I did some recording over there and I just, they liked me and I started doing part time job and then slowly it became full time. So I just got into it because it just happened very organically, very naturally. There was nothing planned, but it was just something which I loved doing and it just sort of started turning into a career.
And 14 years is not a small time. I'm sure you might have learned so much.
Yeah, learning every day. Learning every single day of radio. The best thing about radio is that radio is different every day, every single day. Because when you wake up in the morning, when I go to work, because I start in the morning at 6 o'clock, so I start very early in the morning. Um, so every single day, just how the weather is different, you feel different. Like that, on that day, your energy is different, and you get to connect with people, and you can sense it. If there's some day when there's suppose something tragic has happened, like a major earthquake or something, you can just feel it. You can feel that the people listening to you are upset about it, you are showing concern, you are sharing news with them, you can just feel the energy. On some days when suppose India has won a major cricket match, you know that excitement, you can feel it. So the fun thing about radio is that you get to experience it each day, and every day is different, and you get to connect with so many people. Not necessarily that I get to talk to them every day, but I can just sense them every single day. I can just sense how people are feeling every day. So it's fun.
So, how many shows you did?
As in stage shows or radio shows?
As a radio shows?
Radio show is mine is a permanent show. See, I do the breakfast show on weekdays. So Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is my fixed time. This I have been doing since 2007. And before that, I used to do the afternoon shifts. So that would be the afternoon show between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. And then occasionally I also would do a Friday night show, which would be more of a upbeat party program kind of a thing. But I have been doing the breakfast show for the longest time, since 2007.
But how is working in New Zealand?
Working in New Zealand is great. New Zealand is lovely as a country. Though in my profession, I'm not, directly working with Kiwis. I'm more engaged with the Indian audience over here. But in the back office, like our accounts and our sales and marketing team, of course, we're working with the locals here, and it's a great working culture in New Zealand. People are very friendly here. There's a lot of flexibility in the way you can work. There's a lot of freedom in the way you can express yourself. We're not very scripted. In India, I know radio is very different. You're very scripted, but over here we've got that freedom to do things our way. Generally, in a typical setup, you would have a producer of a show who would decide the content, and the presenter would deliver it. But in our case, we are the producers and the presenters, so we can choose our own content, deliver it the way we want to deliver it. So there's more freedom, there's more flexibility. It's a lot of fun.
You have done your degree in entertainment. Today, you become a professional entertainer. So, if you look back from that day when you started, decided to be in entertainment industry, and today you have met a lot of people, and you have entertained, and you have given the information through your art. So how is that? How it feels you?
It feels like an amazing journey, and because I love it so much, only when I talk to someone and they ask me, since when have you been doing it, I suddenly realize that it has been so long already, that I've come a long way. Otherwise, I just, like I said, I feel new every day. I feel like I will never get tired of doing this. I can just do this. I don't know until when. I can just go on and on and on. And yeah, every time it's just different. Every stage show is different. Every time the experience is different. Meeting so many people along the way, meeting so many celebrities, getting to talk to them, getting to interview them. It's just wonderful, and yeah, it's been a very delightful journey, and I just hope it continues.
So, do you have any memorable experience?
Memorable experiences, yeah, there have been lots. There was an experience which I would never ever forget, and this is when I had just started my work in the radio. It had been about a year or so, and my bosses and my manager, they were also happy with the way I was working, that they asked me to travel to Sydney to do the coverage of A.R. Rahman's concert. It was going to be a huge concert because it was A.R. Rahman, Hari Haranji, Alka Yagnik, there was Chitra ji, then there was Kailash Kher. There were like all these Shiv Mani, there were all these big stars performing, all these artists, singers, musicians, everyone performing on one stage. And I was being told to go and be backstage, interview them, do the coverage of the concert. So I went there. I spent a lot of time with all the artists. But it was very hard to get to A.R. Rahman sir because he was in his green room. I did see him coming in and out a couple of times. I smiled at him. I told him, "Can I get an interview with you? Can I get a little bite?" Just saying that, "Hi, I'm A.R. Rahman and you're listening to Radio Tarana." And he was just so busy. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, sure." But he always had that very kind smile on his face, like he acknowledged me and he was like, "Definitely, I'll do it." But he had been very busy throughout the evening. So then it was his concert and the whole concert went really well, and this was like close to now midnight when the concert had finished and everyone was about to leave, and he was still surrounded by fans and people. And then he was just trying to walk out towards his car, but then he saw me standing on the side, and then he stopped because he had promised me that he will talk to me, right? So he stopped, he smiled at me, he came towards me and he's like, "Okay, Neha, tell me." I'm like, oh, I was so happy. I was like, "Oh, just a little bite, that, hi, I'm A.R. Rahman, you're listening to Radio Tarana." And I pulled out my voice recorder and he recorded it. And when he left, I was so thrilled. I was like, "Let me listen to it." I had not pressed the record button. So I never got that recording. And that was such a moment for me. Like, I still remember that moment. I was like so mad at myself. But the whole experience of him stopping to talk to me, smiling at me, saying, "Yes, Neha, tell me," that was just so special, that whole experience. And that was, like I said, very learning experience for me. I was very new. And next day, when I wanted to tell my manager what had happened, and I wanted to tell her that I tried getting his bite, I got it also, but I didn't record it. When I was telling her all this, and she's like, "Oh, never mind, things like this happen, this and that, and are you getting ready to come back?" And my flight was that same evening. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be going to the airport soon." So I started looking for my passport because I was going to go to the airport, and then I realized I can't find my passport. So in that same trip, I lost my passport. And then I was stuck in Australia for 3 weeks. My radio station had sent me for 2 days just to go cover the show and come back the next day. But I lost my passport. I didn't have the recording. I was stuck there for 3 weeks until I got a new passport made. And then I came back. And then I was never sent for any other coverage again. Yeah. So that was like one of the most memorable trips.
So, why you wanted to be a creative person? Do you have any inspiration?
I think inspiration definitely my dad. Like I said, it just came from childhood. Music came very naturally because I just saw my dad singing at home, playing the guitar, and I just enjoyed it so much. I just got into it right from the time when I was like a little girl. So definitely it has to be my dad. Whatever music I know it because of my dad. My dad has been a person who appreciates music, and it's not like he would only listen to one particular kind of songs. Like as a child, I remember he would make me listen to things like Sound of Music as well as Kishore Kumar. He would be listening to John Denver's country music, and at the same time he would be listening to ABBA. So he had like this, he just loved music, and I had exposure to a very wide range of music and cultures. I traveled a lot, so it just came very naturally. Music, dance, singing, just having fun. It was just there from the beginning.
But you being in, you being as an Indian living in east part of the world and
Mhm.
entertaining there, connecting with that audience, how is
Mhm.
that?
So, like I said, primarily our audience is Indian only because our radio station is in Hindi. So we work like our shows are in Hindi. Um, but yeah, we get to interact with a lot of mainstream media here as well. We get to work along with a lot of radio stations and other radio presenters from the mainstream media. We get to attend conferences together. So it's great fun. Like New Zealand is a very accommodating country. The culture here, it's a very beautiful mix of cultures. There are a lot of different cultures living in New Zealand. So it is a land of a lot of multicultures, and they all blend in together and work together beautifully.
So how is talking with different people?
It's fun. Um, I'm someone who always likes to know more about people and their culture, how they feel. So I'm usually the person who listens more when I'm talking to people, when I'm asking them experiences. I like to listen and learn a lot from them. So it's fun interacting with people.
So, like you said, you interact with celebrities, and
Yeah.
one of the best experiences, A.R. Rahman, who is Oscar holder for India. So, you interviewed him before Oscar or after Oscar?
Um, A.R. Rahman, sir.
Yeah.
This was back in 2006 when I met him.
So
Yeah.
before Oscar.
Before, yeah, before.
So, but why you wanted to be on behind the camera?
Um, like I said, it's just how things happen. You know, I've never planned anything. If anybody asks me for a plan, I don't have any plan for anything in my life. So it's just how things happen. Radio happened, shows started happening, and whatever happened, I just sort of started doing it. Like even being more active on social media, it just suddenly happened, especially during pandemic and the COVID time and all that. That um, my station manager told me to do more things on social media because people were connecting more through the internet during the pandemic. And that's when I started creating more videos, doing more content online, and coming more in front of the camera rather than just being on the radio. And that's how I started connecting with people through my videos as well. So whatever has happened, it's just happened with time. And yeah.
There must be some unique qualities of yours which might help you to connect with people. So, what do you think that worked for you in order to uh, connect with
Uh,
everyone?
what I don't know, but what I've heard from people, the feedback that I get from people is that I'm very natural. I'm just who I am. I am myself. And that's why people can just, connect with me because I be myself. I talk about my experiences like I've in my interview also just now. I've just told you about my dad. I've just told you about the mistakes I've done, like losing passport and things like that. So I think that's what people can connect with. They can just connect with a person who's just a normal person with an everyday life, sharing her experiences, and that's what people like about me. They So many people tell me like we feel like we know you personally and we can connect with you personally. So I guess that's something that they can connect with me. That's one thing that makes them connect with me. Yeah.
2001, which means you are into radio uh, before technology. The technology was not uh, well rooted at that time. So today, so what is the difference that you are observing in this 20 plus years?
Um, a lot, a lot. Like when I started radio, um, and especially over here, we had like all these consoles and these machinery which were really outdated. I mean, which are outdated now, but back then, I mean, everything was so manual. We were playing songs from CDs. We were literally, choosing which track to play. And then we had like two, three systems around us. There was one system which was only like mic on and off, one system for the song on and off, one system for the ads to go on and off. So you had to manage all these three, four systems. And then in between, you had your telephone system, which was that traditional, um, you know, handheld phone to dial out the numbers and things like that. So everything was like that. And now it's all in this one sleek system. And you just click on the buttons and you're dialing out your calls. Your songs are all on a playlist. Your ads and your linker items are just coming in between. It's just amazing the way technology has progressed. So yeah, a lot of changes in terms of technology. A lot of changes in the kind of content we can present. We can connect so easily with so many more people now. Like I do a segment on the radio in which I play inspirational talks and motivational talks by different speakers, and there's just so much available on the net now. There's so many different speakers. There's so many people um, having so much to say, so much to offer. So it's just, I think the connectivity, it's just so much better now with technology. It's amazing how much more you can share and how much more you can learn. It's really good.
So, like you said, there is a lot of difference in doing radio in India and also uh, uh, doing radio in New Zealand. So,
Mm.
you have to be the creator of the content,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you create everything from
Hmm.
nothing. So, so how you manage that, how you produce, and what will be your plan?
So for that, like we basically have an outline of our program. I've got set segments every day. So I basically have to work segment by segment. That's how I like to do my program. We also have some programs on air which are just completely, they're just freestyle. It just depends on how the day goes, who calls in, people call in with their song requests, they have a chat, and then it runs like that. So we've got programs with that, with working with that kind of outline as well. And then we've got different programs. So my program has set segments, and then I work on each segment. So I work segment by segment. So mostly my preparation is done um, before the week starts. So I know that, okay, next whole week, this segment I'll be covering this segment I'll be covering this segment I'll be doing this. And then every single day I prepare for the next day. So that's how it works.
So, exploring people, interviewing different people, so talking with them, uh, going through their background. So, how is that?
Like I said, that's a lot of fun because that's something I really enjoy doing. I love to know more about people, their lives, how their mind works, how ups and downs come, how people change with time. It's just a very beautiful experience to do that. It's fun to interact with people. Yeah.
So, how is working for your radio station?
It's very nice. Our management is very good. And when I joined radio, I was very young. I was a teenager. So I have been always treated like the youngest one. And even though now there are staff who is younger than me, I am still given that treatment of being like the special one, like the kid in the house, and everybody's caring for me. Anything I need, anytime, it's been looked after very well. So it's really nice the way my company looks after all of us. And Radio Tarana is the oldest Indian radio station in New Zealand. It's a very renowned name, and it's got a huge listenership not only in New Zealand but also in countries like Fiji and Australia. And we have a lot of people connecting online from US and Canada. So it's got a huge listenership. Even in India, there are listeners who listen online from India as well. So yeah, it's a very reputed name, and I'm very proud to be a part of Radio Tarana team.
Uh, but there is what I observed is there is a lot of difference in talking with people who are into east part of the world compared to the west part of the world. There is huge difference. So,
Like,
what difference uh, when comes to culture or the way they have or the experiences that they have or the connectivity or the maybe because of the time also. So, what is the difference that you observed in this uh, 10 plus years that you are in?
between East and West.
Yeah, not only
Uh,
West, also North and South.
um, I don't know. I don't feel so much of a difference. Like I said, I speak to people from different cultures, and I just like to listen and know them. And in the end, you find that human emotions are the same. People are the same. They might be coming from different cultures, from different backgrounds, and at the beginning, they might be coming out of that space where they are slightly restricted because they might have their own concepts about something. But when you connect to people on the level of emotions, when you're just talking about things like um, happiness, or when you're talking about love, or when you're talking about family, or when you're talking about happy moments, sad moments, embarrassing moments, They are all very similar. It doesn't matter which part they're coming from, north, south, east, west. I think people connect at that level. They're all the same. And um, that's the space that I come from also. When I talk to people or when I look at cultures, I rather look at the similarities than the differences. That's just me. I always find a common ground to connect on. So I don't
And
see much.
your connectivity with music.
Hmm.
So how what is your connection with music?
Music is everything for me. Um, I love to listen to music. I love to sing. I love to create music also. So it's like a part of me, and uh, I just like I said from the beginning, I've been open to many different kind of music. So I've never restricted myself to any one kind of music. I would enjoy any and every kind of music, and yeah, that's the culture which I've grown up with. So music is like a part of my personality, I think.
So 10 this 10 plus years, what you have learned being behind camera.
What I've learned is that you can um, people make a connection with your voice. Sometimes you're not even aware of it. The things that we are saying, I've definitely learned to value my words a lot. I don't say things very loosely anymore. I'm very aware about my words, and I think words make a huge difference. Sometimes just a simple line that you would say, something like as simple as keep smiling, don't give up. You don't know who is listening and what state of mind they are in at that point when you have just said that simple line. Maybe that line becomes a lifesaver for them. And I have experienced that. Recently, I've met people, or in the last few years, I've met people who've shared their experience with me that how on so and so day or at such and such time, I said this and they heard it and it made like, a difference in their life, or it suddenly struck a chord. So it's amazing the relationship that we can make with people through our voice, through our words. We should be very mindful of our words in life. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned in my profession.
So you're impacting, you're creating energy, you're making things happen, and you're being memory for somebody with your communication skills. So, so like you said, you're very conscious about the words that you speak.
Hmm.
So, what you do in order to practice this? You're very experienced, but still, your answers may be very valuable for people who are just trying to be a great communicator.
One, it definitely comes as a gift. Two, you need to honor that gift. You need to acknowledge it that you have been given that gift and then work more on it, polish it more. And three, in my case, because I've been on the spiritual path from a very young age, I've been meditating from a very young age. Like I was 12 years old when I started meditating. So I think that has definitely helped me a lot because meditation is all about being very aware, being very mindful, being very in the present moment, not going in the past or in the future. And that's what communication is. You need to communicate in the present. Maybe you have planned something, maybe you have thought of something, maybe you are like, oh, I'll say like this, or maybe there are something from the past that is going on in your head that, this had happened, so I will bring up this topic now. But when you are talking to someone, it is in the moment. So you just have to be in the moment. You have to feel it. What's the energy at that point when you are communicating with someone? And when you do it, feeling that moment, it is the best communication. You know exactly whether you have to talk more, listen more, pause, stop, listen. What do you have to do? You know exactly when you are communicating in the moment. So for me, meditation definitely has worked wonders.
Is it possible for you to be conscious all the time while speaking?
I think it happens effortlessly because when I'm speaking, there is nothing else in my mind. So it's happening very effortlessly. Like now I'm talking to you, there is nothing else that I'm thinking about. So my whole attention is on this conversation. And maybe it's become, I've been practicing it for so long that it's become something that I don't even have to put an effort in doing. But that's how I am. If I'm doing a stage show, doesn't matter what has happened backstage, what has happened in my house before coming for the show. But when I'm on the stage, I'm over there. So being in the moment, you know, it happens effortlessly. You don't have to be conscious of anything. It is you. You are just there.
So, what is the difference doing radio and stage shows, and also singing? Because you are into different things.
Um, Radio, stage, everything is very live. That is one common thing for sure. But radio, you don't get to see your audience.
Yeah.
As I said, I might be saying something and it might be, striking a chord somewhere, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know until after 1 month I meet someone in some event and they'll be like, so and so day you said this, it was so beautiful. I wouldn't know. But on stage, the reaction that you get on the spot, it is so much fun. You know what you have said has made someone laugh. You know what you have said, people have had that moment of, oh, that's lovely. You get that instant reaction. So that is so much fun to get the instant reaction from people. It's very enriching. It's really enjoyable. It's very enjoyable to get the instant reaction. So that's the fun thing about stage. And singing again, like I don't think I do it for others. I just do it for myself. When I sing, I just sing because I love it so much. And then because I'm enjoying it so much, people enjoy it with me. Because when you do something that you are 100% enjoying, everybody catches on to that happiness and they enjoy it.
And how can you speak for hours with anybody about anything? It's not easy for many people.
I know. Like I said, that's just me. I think that's what people like about me. I'm just natural. I don't feel like there's anything to hide. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I am who I am. Um, a part of that also comes in my personality because I'm actually visually impaired. I'm partially blind from birth. And so many people get shocked when they hear that the first time because they just can't, feel it in my confidence, the way I connect with people. But while growing up, I had a lot of hesitations about how people will perceive me, what do they think about me, this, that. But gradually with time, it's all gone. It's all gone. I think with my practices of meditation, practices of Sudarshan Kriya, because I'm a strong follower of Art of Living and Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar. So through all those practices, all those concepts, all those judgments, all those notions of what people are thinking about me, how are they judging me, it's gone. It's just made me so free from inside that that's what people can see in me, that I'm just so free. I can just talk about anything.
It's a gift for you being natural and being yourself and connecting with people without writing anything or without preparing anything. So I'm sure you might be enjoying being natural.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, thank you.
So how is that being natural and being connecting with people
It's
and
just it's
being
it's being
real all the time?
it's just being natural.
Yeah.
How is it being natural? It is being natural. It is just who I am. It's a part of my personality, and it's like I said, I feel most comfortable just being myself. Because when you try to be someone else, you don't feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable, people will know it. People will know sooner or later that you are um, feeling awkward or you're trying to be something or be someone. So it's easier when you're just yourself. You accept yourself the way you are first. before you expect, others to accept you. So once you have the acceptance inside you for yourself, you love yourself, you're comfortable with your own self, you can just do it naturally, and then you can just connect with anyone.
So you're an influencer. Uh, so you also have responsibility that you're presenting and you're presenter. So do you take any uh, extra things in order to be very very conscious?
Yes, I do realize that as a person in media, being in radio, I have some responsibilities. And actually, this came to me very late after like almost doing radio for 15 years. I felt like I was never ever active on social media. I was like always just very happy in my life and just doing my radio and things like that. But then I was talking to a friend and she told me, she's like, people just post such negative things out there. We need more people who post positive things, and that too not just positive like that sugary positive that um, be happy and keep smiling and keep shining and don't lose hope. Not just sugary quotes, just living it yourself, being an example, being a living example for others. We need more of that, and that sort of really inspired me to be more out there, talk to people, share my videos, share my story, share my thoughts about different things, and just show them that it's good to live life with joy. You don't. There are problems in everyone's life. There are issues in everyone's life, but that doesn't mean that you have to be bogged down by it. You can be free. You can be relaxed. You can deal with your challenges every day just by um, being in the moment and being connected with everyone around you, being connected with the nature around you, just being there. So that's what I do, and I do understand that responsibility, and it's good to see that this effort has been recognized by people. People enjoy my videos, whether it's in the form of an inspirational story, or whether it's in the form of sharing any little wisdom that I have learned. So it's appreciated by people, that effort.
So in this experience, in this professional experience, I'm sure you might have faced a lot of challenges. So how you came out of it?
Challenges I don't think so. I'm a kind of person who never really sees challenge as a challenge. So even if they would have come, I have not felt any challenge. Yes, there are things like you will always find people who feel jealous or who try to put you down or who try to discourage you. You'll find all different kind of people. You'll find people who encourage you and then people who discourage you also. So those kind of people keep coming and going. But when you are clear in your head about what you have to do, then I don't think challenges make any difference. You just do what you have to do.
So who are your listeners in India? Which part of the world, which part of India listeners you have, and what kind of response that you get?
Online listenership, like I said, we've got a lot of online listenership. A lot of people who were probably living in New Zealand for some time, or working here for some time, or studying here for some time, and now they've gone back to India. They still like to connect back with us. So we've got a lot of listeners, mostly in Mumbai, Delhi, then northern India, middle India, that kind of demographic. So a lot of those people connect with us. A lot of people who search for online radios because there are people who are working at call centers in India for long working hours, and their timings are such that they would be working like the night shifts over there, which is like the daytime over here, and then they would be listening to our programs because we would have like full-fledged programs running during the day. So they would connect with that. So a lot of online listenership in, yeah, mostly northern part of India.
And being in sound, understanding sound, because sound is very important for you. You use ears, so much more than your eyes. So being also behind camera, how this sound system you manage, and what uh, uh, things that you put in your mind, because this is something that nobody knows.
Yeah, that's a very good question. See, like I said, because of my eyesight, because I've been visually impaired by birth, I have always had a stronger connection with sound because my hearing has always been stronger. I have always connected more with sounds. People around me, I've always recognized people with their voices more than their faces because I can't recognize faces. But the minute I hear the voice, like from childhood, I know my grandfather is coming. I know my grandmother is saying something. I know my cousin is sitting this side. It's the sounds. So I've always been more connected with sounds. And I think that has given me an added advantage in my profession because, like you said, it's something where you connect more with sound. And the better listener you are, the better speaker you can be, the better you can listen because listening gives you a lot of advantages. You can listen to people's breath also. You can even listen to the way they are breathing in a certain moment. And that can tell you a lot about them, how they are feeling. So definitely sound plays a big role. And like I said, the better you can listen, the deeper you can listen, the better you can perform because you know what you need to do then.
So at last, do you want to say anything to my audience about the work that you're doing, also about the experiences that you had in your professional career, and being as an RJ, also being a singer, also being a presenter on a show?
Um, No, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Generally, it's me interviewing people, but seldom do I get interviewed by someone. So it's always fun to share my side of the story. And thank you for giving me this opportunity and having this chat with me. I just want to tell people that you know you can you can really excel in life if you do something that you really love doing. Sometimes you are lucky enough to have that thing come into your life automatically, like it did in my case. And sometimes you just have to look for it. What is that thing that you really love doing? What do you really enjoy doing? So find that passion. And if you found it, just be with it because that is the most valuable thing. When you get to do something which you love to do, there is no other experience as beautiful than that.
So, as an observer, what do you say about my work? Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
Yes, yes, I saw a couple of videos. You're doing a great job. You're doing really well. And well done to you and congratulations.
So I actually did masters in software engineering, also bachelor's in computer science and engineering. Right now, I'm getting trained as a AWS cloud DevOps engineer role.
Mhm,
I'm doing this to connect with the world. In last 2 years, more than
mm,
550 interviews I took.
mm,
Uh, uh, People from different parts of the world who are into different
mm.
professions. Also, people who work with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs.
Yes.
My niche is mostly technology, but
Mm,
in order to explore, like I'm very curious about things, which
mm.
made me to connect you and take your interview today.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so what do you think I will learn from this talking with? Because you have huge experience in this communication system, you know what is sound, and you know how to talk to people, how to be conscious, and how to be responsible as an influencer. So,
Mm.
what I'm going to learn from all this I'm doing.
You'll be learning all the time, like like I said, every person you meet, it's just so fascinating. Everyone is like a story. Every single person you meet, there are so many things that happens in a person's life, so many incidents, so many shades to every personality. So just listen more, have fun when you're listening to these stories, and I'm sure as your experience grows, you will grow as a person. because the more you get to know people, the more you get to know about different fields and different industries. I've seen your interview with people from Amazon. I've seen your interview with people in fashion industry as well. I think there was a beauty contest winner and things like that. So it's amazing. People have different lives, and once you have spoken to someone, you've got a glimpse into their life. You've just had that experience become your experience as well. A part of your experience as well. So keep talking to people. It's the best way to connect, and we are in such a good age that we can connect like this through technology. So all the very best to you for that.
Uh, I'll share your web links with my audience. People who listens to us, who listens to our conversation, it can be on YouTube or on podcast. They can
Sure.
see the work that you're doing. Also, they can connect with you and can enjoy what you talk.
Sure. Thank you.
So, can you share your social media or your
Yeah.
presence, online
Uh,
presence to my podcast listeners?
So I am on Facebook and Instagram. You can like my Facebook page. It's called RJ Neha Sandhu NZ. You can even get connected on my YouTube channel that is also called RJ Neha Sandhu NZ. So through that you can connect with me.
One thing I forgot to tell you, I connected you when this suggestion got to me. Like you interviewed one of the famous actors of Indian film industry. Like I have shown your interview to my mother.
Mm.
You did with Abbas. So his then after you interviewing you, some of the regional YouTube creators have started uh, uh, telling the story of Abbas and how he gone through things and all.
Mm.
But do you know that this happened
No,
here?
really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's nice to know
In
that.
in Telugu, some of the creators, after seeing your interview,
Yeah.
they started telling about Abbas, and uh, which is one of the biggest films in India, which is unforgettable that he made that.
Mm.
You interviewed some
It was
experiences talking with him. Can you share?
It was so nice meeting him. He was so sweet. Honestly, when we first connected, I didn't know much because actually one of our common friends, he just told me, "Can you talk to my friend Abbas? He's done films, and can you interview him?" And I'm like, okay. So I just had his number. I called him. I'm like, hi, Abbas. And he just talked so normally. He's like, hi, how are you? This, that. I'm like, so you want me to interview you? Okay, let's fix a time. It was like that. And then I checked his filmography, and then I checked who he is. And then I'm like, oh my God. I just called him like, because I didn't expect someone like that living in New Zealand and, suddenly just one of my common friends calling me and saying, hey, can you interview one of my friends? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So it was very nice. And then I went to his place. We did the interview. He was just so sweet. He offered me a glass of water, and you know how in New Zealand we don't have people working in our house. We work, we do our own things. So even if you've got the dishes, you wash it yourself. So when I finished my glass of water, I was just keeping it there, but I felt so bad. It's like, he's picking up the glass for me. I'm like, no, no, let me do this, and he's like, no, no, it's okay. And very humble person, very sweet. His family is very sweet, very nice people. It was very nice meeting them.
So your interview impacted a lot, mainly in Telugu. There are so
Oh,
many people who told his story after your interview because he is like invisible for a long time. Even I don't know like where he's staying and what he's doing
yeah.
because he stopped being influenced for a long time. And after you interviewing, there is so much people talking about him and
Oh, that's
yeah.
good to know. Thank you for telling me that. I didn't know that. That's a good feedback.
So maybe that is one of the reasons why your work has been suggested to me on social media, and I'll be very active on social media. Then I requested you to be on my show, and you're here.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
So it's an honor for me. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Not a,
And also, can I put this audio and video clip on my podcast, website,
yeah,
internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
sure, sure, sure.
and keep going. Keep Indians. I mean, make Indians feel proud being an influencer, and keep
Thank
doing
you.
what you love.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.